The future of Kate's Law now faces an uncertain future after Senate Democratic leader Harry Reid moved to block the legislation from Senator Ted Cruz. The legislation would create tougher penalties for illegal immigrants who re-enter the country after being deported. Cruz and Senator Reid clashed on the Senate floor yesterday.
This ought to be a clear choice. With whom do you stand? Do you stand with violent, criminal, illegal aliens? Or do you stand with American citizens? Do you stand with our sons and daughters and those at risk of violent crime?
The new mandatory minimum sentences bill would create would have a crippling financial effect, and that's an understatement, with no evidence that they would actually deter future violations of the law. This is yet another attack on the immigrant community.
Our next guest is a proud supporter of Kate's Law, and joining us tonight is presidential candidate, former U.S. Senator Rick Santorum. And let me begin, Senator, by congratulating you on being in the debates and getting ready to take on all of your opponents.
Well, I'm looking forward to the opportunity to be on the national stage, and I think it'll be a lively debate. Looking forward to engaging in it.
Well, we're looking forward to it, and congratulate you.
Yeah, actually, Lou, the issue you bring up, immigration, is actually one of the issues that I probably disagree the most with the people on that stage. And, you know, we put out a very comprehensive plan that talks about limiting the number of both illegal and legal immigrants in this country, returning illegal immigrants back to their home countries. No one else in this race has taken the position I have of limiting, actually reducing the number of legal immigrants to make sure that American workers aren't hurt by the number of low-skilled workers coming into this country, over 1 million a year. And secondly, actually not providing amnesty. Everybody else in this field, the Republican field, has been clear that they actually are going to allow people who are here illegally to stay in perpetuity. And I'm the only one that's actually different on that issue.
Well, Trump says he's going to send people back.
Well, he says, then he says, all but the good ones. So I don't know what that means. You know, so, you know, with Donald, it's a little looser translation.
Yeah, I think what that means in terms of the candidates and the primary elections approaching is it's early days. But I want to turn to Kate's Law on the issue of immigration and illegal immigration in particular. Kate's Law, for Reid to block this, to stand up and block it, is one of the most stunning things I've seen. As you know, our colleague Bill O'Reilly has been pushing this issue from the very beginning. You have been supporting it,
yes,
a handful from the very beginning. But for this to die this way because of the rules of the Senate, which are being manipulated by an obstinate obstructionist like Harry Reid, is breathtaking.
Well, just remember, 41 of his colleagues on the Democratic side, or almost every Democrat, if not every one of them, sided with him. If he didn't have the support of the entire Democratic caucus, and by the way, President Obama, that bill would have passed. So it's not just Harry Reid. It's not just a tactic. This was an attempt to use the rules of the Senate to legitimately block this bill. And you can't do it unless you have 41 votes. And he did. And so you have to look at it this way. The Democrats, unfortunately, have become so wedded to power, and they are attached to certain voter groups, and they are going to do nothing to other than try to spike up interest and spike up resentment within those voter groups. And that's what they're trying to do here. Instead of looking as to what the best interest is of American, and I might add, even people within those voter groups, they make this into a racial issue and try to, again, spike up support within that group.
You know, but they've been doing it for so long, and it seems the Republican Party does not have good rejoinders to what is straightforwardly simple, political propaganda and some clever maneuvering from time to time on the issue. Let me turn, if I may, to where we are with the Republican Party. Kentucky rolling back marijuana legislation in Ohio. You have got to be encouraged by those developments and otherwise across the country.
we had a good, some good nights in Pennsylvania. We didn't have such a good night. The Democrats sort of swept everything in our state. So, I mean, I think it's sort of a mixed bag in these off-year elections. Very encouraged by Kentucky, but also just look at the Kentucky situation. The polls were off by about 10 points. So I think we need to focus, as you mentioned, we were talking earlier, more on the issues, what the candidates have to bring to the table. And I think one of the reasons, for example, we're not winning the immigration issue, Lou, is we're attacking it the wrong way. Right. We need to be talking about American workers, and I'm talking about all American workers, both people who are here, who immigrated to this country legally, as well as people who were born here, and talk about immigration from the standpoint how it affects them, how it affects the economy of this country. And that, to me, is where the Republicans are missing. They're targeting too narrow a focus on this issue.
Rick Santorum, good to have you with us again. Congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you in Milwaukee.
Thank you very much, Lou.